I think we might go green. I think we might go green. Is my guess. Okay, I'm getting a little bit of green. I'm going to bet on it. I could be wrong, and I'm happy to stop out if I'm wrong. We might have a green day. That's definitely a 50-50, slightly informed. And even if I'm right, I could get stopped out of the trade. Doesn't matter, So, but I'll try it. I'll flip a coin at the open here. So far, so good. Probably not going to come without a challenge. I'll probably be right, but it'll probably come with getting whipped out of my trade. So it's really important that I take some profit here somewhere. What I'll do is I'll just keep moving my stop loss up. Especially after we break pivots. What about Apple? I got to turn that down. I need to go check my put and maybe cut out of that because this looks like it's really happening here. Well, I do kind of want to keep that on for multi-day. Look at that. Shoo! Up $47 across 2 accounts now. Yeah, times 2. Basically. I move my stop to break even. And what do we have over here? Yeah, I'm up $250,000 on those puts. I think I'll probably cash those out at the moment. Yeah, just go ahead and cash those out at the assess throughout the day, especially if this is what's happening. I hope it's useful for you guys to hear my sort of thought reasoning out loud. I'm sure there's a lot more going on up there. But that's as much as can come out in the English language. And it's probably going to be a scalpy day there. I'm going to go ahead and de-risk right there on one account. And then probably just go ahead and take it right there as well. Yeah, I don't need the retrace. I just don't need it, man. I just don't need that kind of whatever it is I'm trying to say. But look over here on the cues. This day is turning out to be exactly what I said. We gap open and then we create a green candle up. Perhaps we're going to target yesterday's low before reversing, like fill the gap. So all I would say is set yourself up at good risk reward. Don't get in when it's extending upward. Get in when it's looking like it's not happening, when it's pulling back. And that'll get you in at the great risk reward scenario, where even if you're a little bit wrong, you might be able to get out at break even or at a profit or at a small loss, versus getting in at the top of the range and then you're getting out because you lost too much and it's not even at a point in which you should get out. And so you get out and then it goes and you're like, fuck. And that's when you should have gotten in instead of getting in where you go. See what I'm saying? So don't get in on push-ups, get in on a pullback at some sort of deceleration point. It's kind of happening here. So, it's not terrible, but I already, got that whole move. So I'm going to just see if I can see what kind of scary drop bottoms and maybe get in at the bottom for the long. Everybody says BBWY is flying. All right, let's pull it up. Okay, I don't trust the volume too much, but go for it if you want. It's an earnings continuation. So I would get in a quarter, day swing it, buy more at the end of the day if necessary, and then tomorrow, ER day 2 continuation add on, and then hold for as long as it continues higher lows, on the daily. Does everybody understand that? Give me a thumbs up or a yes if you did, because that means you are cool. RJ said yes. He's like, well, I'm not saying I'm cool, even though I know I am, but yes. All right. We are getting some of that continuation now. And so this is not the point in which you get in. You need to get in on the pullback. So that's what we're going to wait for here. I think I'm on the, oh, that's a 1 minute chart. Okay, that's a very useful chart to be on. I'm pretty cool, buddy. No, but the thing is, the cooler you are, I mean, well, it's different for everybody. But the cooler you are, the more humble you must be. You just, you don't need it. You don't need cool points. You know what I mean? The truly cooler, the more genuinely cool you are, the more you're willing to spend anti-cool points in order to prove nothing. Right? And that just makes you even cooler. And it's definitely hard to do if it's not authentic. Anyway, no one else said yes, so you didn't understand. It would have been nice. I guess I should have asked the question, who didn't understand what I said about getting in a quarter on the day swing on BBWI? Who doesn't understand what I said? It was like a multifaceted thing I said, but for those of you who did, like, way good, and I don't believe Chris didn't. He probably just didn't have time. He's at work to type yes, because I think he fully understood. Yep. And maybe one of the mics. We got a lot of mics in here. A lot of mics. Only one Camille, only one Dondrell. I think we kind of have only one David. Definitely one Benjamin. Definitely one Tool. For now, we have one Joe Smith. Justin, one Kevin, one Marcus. There's a shitload of mics. I mean, we have a whole bunch. We're just going to call them the mics. Okay, here's some pullback down to a fair value area, down to an unnegotiated area right there. In fact, that was entrance. So I will buy right there. Could be wrong, but that's a good risk reward area to get in. It's a good area to be wrong. You understand? Get filled on this. Come on. Just a little lower. There we go. All right, I'm going in light. Going in light because nothing is very sure today. I do believe we might fill this gap. And now I would exit at the bottom of this little squish zone down here. Stop out. Show you. Right down here. For now, until we can break a new high, and then I can put it around my break even. All right, looking back at BBWI, yeah, we got a little bit of pullback, and that's where you might be able to add 1% or 5% if you believe BBWI is going to continue. And today, the market, might want to fill the gap. That could happen in a half an hour, and then it goes red the rest of the day, and we doji out. We wick out for the rest of the day. So you can't be guaranteed necessarily that the market's going to be on your side the whole day. Neil says, I'm half here, half not. Unresponsive, fly on the wall. Very good, very good. Not trading because of the pullback. Plus working on a Ferrari F12. Nice. But stuck on the SPY for a while at 3. Very good, Mike. Very good. Can't lose much. Right on. So right now, my stop stays where it is. Gap fill completes at, let's take a look at that so we know what we're talking about here. Could be as little as 11,710 on NQ, 11,710. So I'm going to mark that as a level. Yesterday's low on the NQ. PDL, prior day low. But on the Qs, that manifests itself as 284, 284.50, if you have to remember a number, 284.50. Probably touch and reverse. Very bearish action. Okay, there. Now I move to break even. We broke to the upside. Cover my fees. Now it's on the house, casino trade. Put my profit target just underneath particular level we talked about. Hit run. ENSC moving, missed it. M, Macy's broke out over inner pivot. Okay. These, by the way, Chris, yeah, we got some movement on Macy's. Did you guys exit DWAC the other day? I hope so. It continues to drop. It's at 20 now. I did yesterday at the open when it had no prospect. Took a loss on that. I don't remember what it was. Not too bad. Wasn't too bad. Fucking TikTok. Jeez. Great. Now I can't have a violation for the next 90, or I think it's even 120 days. And if you have 3 violations, they suspend your account. Like right now I'm suspended from, I think, going live for 3 days or some shit. It's being appealed. But then if the appeal sticks, I can go back live in 3 days, but I can't have another violation for like 120 days for like 4 months. Yeah. Really into that. Did you see, did any of you watch Trump's announcement speech? He talked briefly about the Chinese quick trial, where, you know, if you did something wrong that brought you to a quick trial, that's where you are heard at trial during the day. Something like a 98% conviction rate, 98%. And then by the end of the day, you're executed. In case you didn't know, that's China. Yeah, 98% conviction rate too. It's not really sad though. I mean, they reserve that for the worst of crimes, and probably those persons did do those crimes, you know, but the level of justice is, you know, that's too much, you know. Yes, you've identified bad people, you need to rid them in society, you know, but you know, there's also, you know, the what do you call it? The the philosophical thing, which says that, you know, if you don't believe in murder, well, I mean, but then we have war, and then we have death penalty. You know what I mean? So, but then again, those people are bad, but you know, 500 years later, what you thought was good could be bad. What you thought was bad could be good. So it's all quite dicey, isn't it? It's all quite dicey. Macy's testing the high. Yeah, I didn't really look at it. Did I? Did I pull it up? Yeah, there it is. Yeah, Macy's doing good. This is kind of a day swing type of earnings play, which you get in like a quarter. You hold through the pivots on a day swing basis, pivot point path. What do we call that? Path of victory. And then maybe by the end of the day, if it's held up, add. And then the next day, add more. Okay, we're kind of getting that gap fill. I'm going to stay at break even probably. probably until target, until my target. How did I get my target above? No, and on my other system, I'm going to put that target in also. That is 11,708. Now, if there's any strong moves to the upside, like big strong move, I might rebuy on a retrace of that candle, 70 or 80% or more retrace of that candle along the way. In other words, I'll add on possibly. Shit, that rate is up there with the Feds. What are you talking about, Dundra? Imagine being lucky and being the 2%. Yeah. The Fed named Bullard, I posted about it, said that it is likely that the current projection on rate hikes are too conservative and won't solve our issues, and that they might need to get rates as high as 6 or 7%. And where did I see this? A video I was watching. There was a chart of the rate hikes and how the rates of bonds just follow them. I mean, they basically follow them roughly, right? So, I bought a lot at 4.5%, 30 years treasuries. But if we can get fucking 6 or 7% 30-year treasury bonds, you become a bank for the next 30 years. I mean, if you're earning 7% and, at some point when we get back to 2%, you can loan that out at 3 or 4%, you're making money. And by the way, if you have something that's like at 6 or 7% and rates get down to 2%, your bonds have your capital that you put away for 30 years in order to get the interest, your capital doubles because all that remaining value on that bond becomes more valuable. We're getting some excellent movement towards this gap fill. We've had very little pullback so far. I believe we will get some. Really wide buffer on it. The first pivot point breakdown. Let me see. Right there, and it got bought up. Find it the right time. The 30. What I'm doing right now is I'm trying to find the time frame that the moving averages seem to capture the trade on. There we go. Sort of fine-tuning my visual gauge. That's too much sideways chop. That's the longest sideways chop we've been. I'm probably going to exit here for a moment. Back. Change of plans. Wait. Yeah, I think peek that. I've sold them. Bit of a struggle going on there. In this other system. Mid-move, kind of equilibrium feeling means we're probably going to tilt over, have some pullback, and I'll get in on some indication during the pullback. Yeah, Apple is just soaring, is it? Okay, let's see. Yeah, even Apple's tilting over right now. Everything needs, it has to have a moment of breath. Can't get the higher prices without selling going on. Think about that. That's why it's more like climbing a ladder. You put your hand up one, then you put your foot up one, and then when you pull yourself up, you actually go down, relatively speaking, like your hands are lower. So, to go up, you have to go down. It's probably not the greatest analogy, but all right, there we go. We're getting some pullback now. That's going to trigger a wave, and we're going to see how long that wave's going to last. I'm going to get a very micro view on it. We're at that midpoint from here to the gap fill. And so I don't even think it'll be just like about catching a bottom. I think we're going to have kind of a head and shouldery type of movement, and take a few minutes here. All right, I'm going to go look at the momentum while that plays out. Back. BBWI, looks like that's an exit on BBWI, or very close to it as far as that day swing goes. ARDX never actually played out, so kind of a dead day. BWI grabbed profits and out. Yep, good job. Yes. Justin says it was interesting. It's seeking the 50 EMA on the 1 day. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Apple. Okay. Action. Oh, you guys, class tonight. Don't forget, we'll have some class tonight. So there's a strong drop, and probably this unnegotiated area to go down further. To say where a reentry will be. Let's go to the 1 minute chart. Pretty smooth negotiated price all the way down. So this is just a natural pullback. Chart. Chart. Way down low. We might go quite low. Cheated over there. And it didn't. Again. $583. Maybe if it gets that low, it's probably going to go seek this liquidity back. We're going to go quite low, I think, right now. We're going to go maybe a 70 or 80% retrace. And the question is, will that scare everyone in the market enough? Because that's going to be close to red. It'll still be green on the day, but will that scare enough of the market that it's going to test the low of the day? It could. Chart. Very strong fall at the 50 on the 1 minute. That's almost a good spot to buy. I just missed it. To risk it. You have a big drop like that. Fast drop. Oh, CTMX is moving. Let's take a look. It is, but it's just a slow grind also. There's nothing parabolic or momentum going on, you know? That's really what we're looking for. Otherwise, we want to stay out of the market, you know, unless we can find something very certain. If we're going to get slow, low returns, we want that to be at low risk as well. High certainty, not low certainty. Because if you can't beat a treasury bond, then what the fuck are we doing? All right, anybody have any questions? I'm going to cut the stream in a second here. Class tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will cover the RSI tonight, and I forget, there was something else I wanted to cover. I think liquidity, a little bit on liquidity, but did we already cover liquidity? Or maybe someone wanted to cover liquidity and we didn't. S&P 500 is almost 80% retraced already. The Qs are actually a little bit acting a little bit stronger than the S&P 500, relatively speaking. Let me take a look at the DXY as well. DXY is definitely not weak right now. Welcome, you're welcome. All right, you guys. Man, I got a bunch of things I got to get done this morning as well. A whole bunch of other things around the house, Thanksgiving thing at my kids' school. Have a good one, and give you a tip. If you don't get good risk reward on your entry, don't worry about it. Don't take the trade if you can't get it at a favorable risk reward. Doesn't matter what the stock market's doing. What matters is how you control your money. There we go. I'm about to get in. There it is. Now that's my good risk reward point. And if I have to stop out, fine. It'll be at a very small stop. And then the reward would be very good. Like I will have to get stopped out. $10 loss. Boom. Definitely out right there. All right, you guys. That probably means it's going to go down, by the way, if it failed a bullish entry. Can be a logical sign. All right. Meet you in the group. See you soon.